after the live, I want to wish you all a happy Father's Day. I'm going to do this a little early today because I got to be out of my house around 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time because I'm going to go see my mom. My dad's not in the state of Michigan. He's out in Illinois. I never usually see him. He's always been working my whole life. So I'm going to go see my mom. And yeah, so that'll be nice. So, but instead of having dead air, because on YouTube, I got to wait for it to upload for me to be able to do what I've got to do so that I can set up my live. So I've decided to use it as a teaching moment. So we watched the first minute and a half of Peter's shift last time. So it was about 2 minutes, but I want to start from here. And this will take me about 60 seconds. So I really appreciate everybody's patience. But this is a good way for me to teach everybody. I'll go through the whole spew once I get everything set up, and including acknowledging anybody who showed up to the live today.
If we can find new people to lend us more, right? We're not going to just tax people to make good on these commitments. We're going to rely 100% on new borrowers. And so that is the pure definition of a Ponzi scheme. The only difference is it's being run by the government instead of a private citizen, but it's still not going to work, right? Ponzi schemes can't work by definition. But then the other problem with this is the rationale, right, or the pretense for the debt ceiling increase was that America always pays its bills, and we need to raise the debt ceiling so we can keep paying our bills. Well, it's actually the opposite. The reason we have to raise the debt ceiling is because we never pay our bills.
Let's talk about alternatives to actually just keep on printing money, keep on going to the bondholders. And you spoke about like that brinkmanship in the lead up to the debt ceiling. That did the US no favors at all. If there are cuts in government spending, what sector gets cut?
Well, obviously, when you're running $2 trillion a year deficits, which the US is, you've got to make that up. You've either got to cut spending or raise taxes. Now, personally, I would like to see everything through spending cuts. But to the extent that we need additional taxes, it should be through a consumption-based tax, at least in the United States, not higher income taxes, but some type of value-added tax, sales tax, or something like that, that isn't as economically destructive as taxing work and production. You want to tax consumption. But we really need significant across-the-board spending cuts, and not just fraud, waste, and abuse. We need to actually cut real spending now, immediately and significantly, including things that are off the table, like Social Security, Medicare, government pensions. We have to cut defense spending. And there are a lot of agencies and departments that I think can be completely eliminated. A lot of spending can be cut. Because if we don't do that, there is no way that we can handle this debt.
Okay, so in the next live tomorrow, we'll continue on that. So good early afternoon, 1:18 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Sunday, June 18th, 2023. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So I'm going to do this for about 25 minutes. Don't expect anybody to be here, honestly. It's Father's Day, but I want to do at least give everybody the opportunity, even if you see this when this comes out, to at least stay current with the pattern. As we know, I've been talking about, and I'll turn on the chat and everything in just a second so that I can see if anybody's here, but I like to do this rundown as if I'm just doing my little, like I'm in my own little world. So right now we know that XRP, if you're new, is within the broadening wedge. We currently have what looks like a little W reversal, very small volume flow, but it's important because if you're familiar with the updates last night and this morning, we reinforced that we were going to have a small bull trap possibly setting up here. And if it sets up as a bull trap, we'd get a rejection at the 494 level. You could have a little run up and maybe push 50 cents for rejection at the psychological level, but you'd ultimately be very bearish in this area once you got up here. And then you get a proper rejection, and that would bring us back down. And if you got the 494 rejection on the 4-hour time frame, you're trying to verify this death cross in the 4-hourly. Notice how we've gotten on top of the 20-day. Well, the reason for this is in pushing up to the 200-day. You're looking for a validation of this pattern reversal, and you need to come back up to those areas for rejection. So if you look at it, you're getting contradiction in the 30-minute time frame. We've had a golden cross here coming up to the 494. Now, typically, what happens here is we would get a rejection, come back down, hit this at about the 488 level, which we did once, roughly, Now, if we want to push up and through and try to go to the psychological level, this is generally where you could get an overextension and you could push up to 50 cents and still continue the pattern as such. I will continue to say, unless you break 537, the short-term bias is going to continue to be very bearish. So right now what we're looking for, as we see the golden cross in the 30-minute, we're looking for a firm rejection in the longer time frame, as some will use the 30-minute time frame to make it look a little more bullish than it is. But really, we are completing a right arm on this head and shoulders pattern that formed inside the broadening wedge. So I think it's pretty clear to see the head and shoulders formation or the topping reversal pattern, because you're creating the head and then you're creating a shoulder. You had a very quick move up, which means you're going to have volatility on the way back down, and then it looks like it's creating the right side of a head and shoulders pattern. But that's why we have to pay attention to pattern formation, and a proper rejection at 494 would bring us down to the bottom. Whoops. Would bring us down to the bottom. I got all this stuff here because I did not know I had that on. Whoops. Like, what is going on here? But it would bring us down to the bottom of the broadening wedge at 44 cents, which I conveniently just deleted on accident. So try to put this exactly how I had it. Whoops. Okay, now I gotta bring it in. They are difficult to set up, because I'm trying to do it in an exact, something like that. That's pretty close. So I'll edit it a little bit after, just to put it where I want, but I don't want to waste too much time on this part. But anyhow, the broadening wedge, if you come back down and get rejected at 494 to verify this Deathcross in the 4-hour time frame, that would bring you down to the 44 cent level if this gets rejected. Now we would have to come back down below the 482 and 477 to start pushing back down. But as you know, that double bottom right now, or the W reversal, the bottom's at 46 cents, and that was the fourth hit, or well, the third hit of the that's about the fourth hit of the broadening wedge. So that's a very interesting area, because if you break down, then you end up in the neckline formation, which is where I circled. But the inverted head and shoulders neckline's actually at 44 cents. And if you break that, the technical target's 36 cents. That's covering everything with XRP. Conversely, if you move up and you get on top of these levels, especially 537, that's when you could hunt to the top of the broadening wedge and try to re-break, finally, the 585 double top. But anything short of that, a 494 rejection right now is the most likely scenario. It's the most likely scenario. We have to pay attention, obviously, if we get any influxes of volume or if there's a short-term change. Right now, though, I mean, when we look at it, the 4-hour volume, let me show you an example real quick. We drop down over here, there's 28 million in the 4-hour on that sell volume. On that sell candle, 4-hourly. Now, you talk about the pushes back up. Even over here, you had 3 million. You got the 5 million. I mean, really, 6 million. Right here, you got the 44.52 million, but as you can see, it was a quick reversal from the top. So I dare say a lot of that is sell candle, because it brought you all the way back down in the next 4-hour successive candle, which is pretty interesting. But let's just do due diligence here, and we come across here, and now again, you had a dump candle here of 13.7 million. Little return, and then another dump candle here of, it should be smaller, 9.5 million. Now you come up, you've got 3 million, 2 million, 5 million, 1.7, 1.6, 3.6, 3.8, 816,000 right now in the first hour and a half. That volume coming back up is non-existent in comparison to the drop. So we're going to need to see a pretty big spike here for this to break past this area. This is a textbook tailor-made rejection point for a Deathcross in the 4-hour time frame. That's how we knew last night in the update we're coming back into this area. Let me just see if anybody's here. I apologize for taking forever. Wow, I'm actually impressed that 23 people are watching right now. 13 likes. Make sure you hit that like button if you are watching, as it will greatly help push me through the analytics and allow more people to be here. I always look at it as an indictment. If you're watching, 23 people watching, only 13 people hit the like button, well, you know. So let me just say hi to everybody. Infamous, welcome in. Jason, no problem. Thanks for the update, Tom. You betcha. Hit that like button. Indeed. Come on in. Got in it live. Well, Tom, we are banging on the door of 494. We sure are. Come on in. Blank Properties, welcome in. Boom indeed. 44 to 46, then a major pump. If we could get to me, the best opportunity for a pump here, and it's what I had drawn out before, but I took it off because it was getting a little, it gets a little crowded in here. So I thought the best opportunity would be get the rejection here after the bounce at 464. Then this can bring us down to a big W reversal. That's our best opportunity, but I think it's going to happen at the 46 cents, which is the inverted head and shoulders neckline, which it would make you feel a lot better if you came all the way down here after a volatile spike out after the inverted head and shoulders. Come back down to the broadening wedge support at 44 cents, create that massive W reversal, and then you could push up and out. Anything short of that, though, this Deathcross is going to bring you down to 36 cents if we get rejected at 44 cents. So I'm looking for a massive rejection in this area, somewhere around here. I understand it could go up to 5.0 or they could overextend it out. But unless we break that 5.37, I'm not even concerned. It's still bearish. So pay attention to that formation. That's what I would make you very cautious of that fact. So Jake, thanks from Missouri. Welcome in. I appreciate that. Come on and hit that like button. Absolutely. No, XRP does not like the 200 above the 50 or the 50 cent mark. It does not. I mean, as you can see in the 4-hourly, it's come back down now, the 200. But in the daily, let's see where it's hanging out in the daily right now. Daily, it's way down there still. So the resistance on the 20-day, this is exactly the problem here. Look at this. If you get a rejection on the daily, this in the 4-hourly is starting to push itself through. So if the 4-hourly gets this rejection, that means the daily is going to have a bearish cross here in about 2 days, roughly. 2 candles here. If we get a rejection here, and then tomorrow we come down, and we end up down here, you could have a bearish cross here in the next couple of days in the daily time frame. So that's why this level is important. So that's why I said you could come up to 50 cents. You got that resistance up here at 49. It's about 4976, 498. So it's definitely possible if you go into the higher time frames that it could sneak up a little bit higher. But the 4-hourly, we're right in the area we're looking for. That's what I've been waiting for. I called for this last night because I wanted to try to get everybody out ahead. So then when it happened, they could understand that this is the make it or break it point. Get up and over, or this is a massive rejection area. Pretty much that simple. My buy-in is 46, 44, and if the 200 is broken and held, stop loss 39. I mean, I can understand that. See, that's a tricky spot, though. That's a tricky spot, though, to buy in. I mean, it's not a tricky spot that you bought in at 46, but if you buy in at 46 and 44, and then you use the 200 if it's broken, I mean, that's a good strategy. But if you're gonna use your stop loss at 39, why do you use it at 39? Just out of curiosity, I'm just curious. Why do you use it at 39 and not 36, where the 2021 uptrend is? Because if you're holding and you're expecting some kind of bounce, the biggest bounce in this entire pattern would happen right at 36 cents. And then it could have a volatile spike up if it holds the 2021 uptrend. That's where the biggest spike can happen in the entirety of the pattern. So you're dumping at 39 to see if it holds at 36, or you're just done with it if it loses 39. That's what I'm struggling to understand. Liquidation on a 2x. Okay, so you're leverage trading. That makes more sense. I didn't know if you were referring to like a spot trade or if you were, because 2x though, if you're shorting the market, you're going to have to do at least 2x. Okay, that makes sense. I wouldn't ride at the 36 either. You would have to do the 39 cent break point, because then you would have to use the 200 EMA in the daily. So I honestly, or not in the daily, but you'd have to use the, hold on, let me take a look real quick. Because you're looking down at a very impressive area where you'd be selling out of. It would have just broke. I mean, to me, oh man, I think you could save yourself money though. I don't know if 39 cents is the best target area. You might just want to put your stop loss at 4, if it shows rejection at 44, so if it flips through 432, and then just reconsider buying it at 408 if it were to hold that area, because that is the inverted head and shoulders. But if it loses that, I mean, I don't see how 39 is going to hold. I really believe they would have just had right to 36 and then maybe a bounce back up. 7-to-1 risk reward. That's not a bad risk reward. Right now, you're on the top side of this too. If you bought at 46 the first buy, you know, you're up in here now. So that was a well-played attempt. Now you're putting some faith in the fact that it could come down here and then swing back out, which if it holds the 44-cent broadening wedge, that's a definite sign of a hold. The problem is we're dealing with the short-term death cross. If we do get a rejection here, as much as I want it to hold here, yeah, that could be the completion of it. So yeah, it could happen. I prefer for it to not lose 44 cents and have to deal with that inverted neck, the inverted head and shoulders neckline breaking. As you can tell, we're focusing on XRP in this update because I got to go for Father's Day stuff. My grandpa is 88 years old and he's my last grandparent, so I take as much time as I possibly can to, you know, when I can, to go see him. So I'm going to go over there. My dad's out of town in Illinois, so, you know, yes, I'm a dad, but my son's 3. And then Julie's kids that I've been with since one was 1 and is now 9, and the other was, 6, 7, is now 16. They're at their real dad's house. So today, it's just, I'm going to go hang out. But I wanted to make sure everybody had the idea of what's going on. The volatility is increasing in the broadening wedge. So any questions? Any questions? You know, I get a lot out of this. I really appreciate doing this. I enjoy doing this. And I become addicted to coming here and trying to give everybody the information. Make sure you hit that like button if you're watching. 22 likes, 26 people watching. That's fantastic. It's my honest goal here to get everybody on the same page. And if you appreciate my work, consider joining Tom's Army. You can look in the video description below. There's a mission statement. I'm not going to go over the whole spew. But I would love to see more people in here that are part of Tom's Army. Crypto Scrooge, welcome in. How's it going, Tom? My brother, happy Father Day. T-Speaker 222. It's going great. I'm about to, excuse me, trying to do my due diligence with everybody in the community. Going to be packing it up here in about 5-6 minutes. So if anybody's got any other questions, anything to add, you want to say your goodbyes, I appreciate each and every one of you, and I want you to have a happy Father's Day. I just wanted to put this out so I could answer any questions. I'm actually shocked that there's been between 26 and 30 people here. I'm shocked. I really didn't think there would be very many people here. Thank you, Silverhawk, for the happy Father's Day. I greatly appreciate that, my friend. Any other concerns, everybody? As we know that, let me get back to my other camera. We'll get rid of this with the charts. You know what I've learned doing this with each and every one of you? Charts don't always need to be out. I can talk to you personally like this as well. So, remember, XRP. We're going to go over a quick synopsis without the chart so you can just hear me speak real quick. XRP, sitting at the 494 level right now, which is the 200-day and the 4-hour time frame resistance. We also are working within the broadening wedge to get this confirmation of the death cross in the 4-hour time frame. We need a rejection at 494, but remember, we also showed the daily, the 20-day supports right around 498, or you can use the psychological level as 50 cents as well as a rejection. But we get a rejection here, and we have another 2 daily candles that are going down, and we confirm this death cross, and we end up around the 44 cents. You very well could initiate a bearish cross in the daily time frame. Once that starts happening, the short-term bias is going to flip a lot because you have a lot of technical traders that'll see that bearish cross. You might get a quick liquidity drop down to 36 cents because that could crack the inverted head and shoulders neckline with that bearish cross because a lot of technical traders. You could get a volatile spike down to 36 cents, which is the technical target right now on a breakdown of the inverted head and shoulders. So just be aware, which also lines up with the 2021 uptrend, which could be the most volatile spike out of that section. If we were going to get a settlement in this lawsuit and not drag it out to September and have a trial jury and all this nonsense, I dare bet, ladies and gentlemen, that you would probably get a retest down at the 2021 uptrend before any kind of major news would happen. And then they would say, oh my God, look, there's a possibility of a settlement or there's something that's coming up. And then all of a sudden XRP spikes up, but nobody would even acknowledge if that happens. The truth. And the truth would be, got a substantial bounce off of the 36 cent 2021 uptrend. So that, I mean, right now though, with the current market environments, In order for XRP to make a massive bounce here, we're going to have to change the short-term bias. Being inside of a broadening wedge, when you were on a bullish run up, even though a broadening wedge is technically a neutral trading pattern or a neutral indicator, it's been said more times than not, it indicates a reversal. So if you're coming in on a pump, it's a reversal to come back down. And that can simply mean to retest the massive support, which could be the inverted head and shoulders neckline. And then it also says that it can be a reversal pattern inside the broadening wedge. So for that to happen, for both to be true, you get a massive bounce up, how we went to 585 within the top of the broadening wedge on the third hit. Became more volatile, and now it's working on a rejection at 494. If it came down to the 44 cent level, then it would be a possible reversal in the broadening wedge as well there if it were to hold. So both things can be true, but if it is a breakdown, the technical target is 36 cents. If we get back up to 585 and break out, the technical target 65 cents. Nothing more, nothing less. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. If you get anything out of these updates, if you get anything out of what I'm saying, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you don't play the victim, though, is the most important message I can give you. And what I mean by that, we can't play the victim. We can't afford to be the victim. When we have the victim mentality, we always look for the negative. We always look at the ones who are trying to put us down or the ones who are trying to make us. It's everybody else's fault. The government did this. Oh my God, they're suing XRP. You can never make it. You know, it's always that. But if you have the positive mindset and you don't let the emotions dictate what you're looking at, or you let the pattern formations dictate and show themselves within the patterns, and let your mind perceive it. Let the charts form that perception of the charts. If you can do that and not let your emotion do it, you're gonna win. That's why we say, don't be a victim, have the winner's mentality. In the roughest of times, if we have the winner's mentality, we're going to succeed more than we ever thought possible. So this is the best expression I can give on my way out. I'm like the beacon, okay? I give the signal. It's your job to receive the signal. So you have to turn on the radio. If I'm the beacon of knowledge that was given to me from the man upstairs and the Lord Savior Jesus Christ, and I'm meant to be the beacon, for whatever reason, I'm meant to be the beacon, so I'm trying to give the signal out to you. You got to turn the radio on, folks, and you got to listen to you got to put the right frequency on, too. There's a lot of distorted signals out there. You could call them false prophets out there. They're going to mislead you for their greater interest, for their greater good. That's not why I'm here. That's not my motive. Awesome, Crypto Scrooge. Winners do win. Jake, nobody's fault, golden hands. Absolutely. Xander's eyes. Hi, Tom. Just wanted to thank you for all that you do. I've learned so much from you. Oh, that's the greatest gift of all for me. That's why I do it. I believe no matter the size of your wallet, everybody deserves the knowledge, and somebody's got to give it to them. If I don't, who's going to? Darren, mate, welcome in. Thanks for the happy Father's Day. I greatly appreciate that. Come on in. Thank you for your time. I may not always like it, but I'll hang in for better times. Happy Father's Day, boys. Absolutely. Happy Father's Day back in return to all the Father's Days out there, or all the fathers out there. Maybe I should add margin, double the margin. I don't like doing that because if you get a massive breakdown, I don't want you to lose your whole portfolio. Or lose your whole trade. What would I do? I've already said what I would do. I would probably, if we lost the inverted head and shoulders neckline with that inverted head and shoulders pattern playing right in front of us and the broadening wedge, we would lose it. I would probably cut ties if we got rejected at 44 cents, came down to 432, came back up and got a rejection. That's where I'd probably cut ties on that trade until the 408 level, because then I could pick it back up at the inverted head and shoulders if somehow, some way it managed to hold. But I'm not a financial advisor, so what the hell do I know? Been watching your daily updates since you had 4,000 subscribers. You now have 16,400, going in the right direction, but you deserve over 200,000. Yeah, but part of that was my fault why I don't have more subscribers. I didn't know how to talk to my ass in the beginning. You know, I was more on the scene. I was more letting the emotion dictate what I was doing, swearing a lot more, getting the wrong people in. I firmly believe I had to go through the cleansing period, and it gave me the time. And now what you're seeing right now is the proper content. So if it's meant to be, it'll be, but it's on me. I don't have more. No, I know YouTube doesn't know what a diamond I am, but I've also got to be at my best and give out the positive energy if I want people to stick around. You know, so that's on me for the beginning, but the last several months, I think, has been an incredible journey, especially the last 6 or 7 weeks for anybody following. Hi, Tom. But with that, I do appreciate all the comments. Match your vibration to highest level and magic happens. It sure does, Darren. It sure does. It sure does. So I want to thank everybody. Again, happy Father's Day to all the fathers. 33 people watching, 33 likes. Watch this over again. Watch this over again, especially the last like 10 minutes. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. If you got anything out of this, make sure you hit that like button. If you want to show appreciation for my work, join Tom's Army. There's a mission statement below. I'm not going to go over it. If you need to trade XRP, we've got UPHOLD in the USA. That's our last stand. BITGET and MEXC if you have the ability for no spot fees. And then if you like the futures trade, which I don't advise. But that's all in the video description below. Make sure, winner mindset, folks. The winner mindset. And give thanks to the Lord today, as it's his day. So, in conclusion, gotta have the positive mindset, but we've also got to help each other, because in this community there's a lot of people misleading us. I promise you one thing and one thing alone. I'm going to lead you in the right direction, because that's the only thing I know how to do.